The new wheels are all done and the Interceptor is already rolling on them, and today's video will be about my first genuine impressions about 17-inch wheels on the Interceptor. This is the second video in the series, and if you haven't seen the first episode, which was about the choices I had to make to get to this point, consider watching this. Today's episode will be split in 4 parts. Number 1 is impressions from dealing with wheel builders. Number 2 is installing the wheels. Then we will talk about the new look of the bike, and finally I will share my first impressions riding this bike on the road. First things first, let's talk about dealing with wheel builders. I did my wheels with Mike from Salisbury Wheel Builders, and I'm very happy with the job he made. He's located quite far from London, but I don't regret making the trip to his location because he really did an amazing job. I'm very happy with the quality, and he also gave me some very good advice, and in fact I changed my opinion about the wheels. I was going to make 16-inch wheels, and his opinion was the last one. He explained, gave me very good reasons why it's probably not the best idea for the Interceptor and for how I want to ride the bike. So Mike, thank you very much. The turnaround was also quick. It usually takes about 2-3 weeks, but Mike was quicker than that, and my wheels were ready in 10 days. It's also very convenient that next door to Mike's shop there's a tire place, lots of tires available, plus they can order from the catalog. The place is run by a decent guy called Mark, so Mark was able to choose the tires, specific tires I was going for from the catalog. He ordered it and they arrived the next day. And the best thing about dealing with those guys is that it's a one-stop shop. So you bring your wheels, they take care of it, they put the tires on, and when the wheels are ready, you collect the final wheel. You don't need to take it, source the tire somewhere else and take it to a shop to fit it. So it is very convenient. Usually you only require 2 trips to drop off the wheels and then to collect them, but in my case I brought the rear wheel first, and then I had to return and bring the front one. So it took me 3 visits, but I'm absolutely happy with the communication and everything. The only thing that I can advise, come prepared. So anything, write it down. The specification of the wheel, the rim diameter, the rim width, the tire spec, write it down on piece of paper and come and bring that with you, and follow up with a quick email to say what choices you made, because you know there are a lot of details. It's easy to miss, and you don't want to come pick your wheels and then find out that it's the wrong size. I just got a call that my wheels are ready and I'm going to pick them up. It's actually quite a long road for me, but I'm 4 minutes away. I'm very excited to see my new wheels. It is quite convenient. Mike at Salisbury Wheels can build you the wheels, and Mark here in the shop can sell you the tires. It's time for me to go back to London. I hope to fit the wheels tonight. I am very excited and I can't wait. No longer I want to ride my bike. Before you even start, in order to do this job, you need to have a decent lift for your bike. I used a paddock stand to lift the rear wheel, and to lift the front wheel, I bought another one specifically for the middle of the bike. Amazing quality. I can really recommend this product. Both links will be in the description of this video. As soon as you have your bike up in the air and it's secured, swapping the front wheel is actually a piece of cake. One recommendation there is to remove the braking pads from the caliper. It just makes it easier to roll the wheel in. Don't lift the bike too high, so you don't need to lift the wheel. You just roll it in, secure it in place. The front wheel is easy. Just don't mess up with the wheel speed sensor. But again, there's not much you can do wrong. The rear tire is a little bit more complicated. Well, at first it's a little bit heavier, and you need to balance the wheel. You need to make sure that both spacers are in place, and then you have to take care of a chain, and you need to slide the brake disc in between the pads and the caliper, and you have to balance it all, and then you need to put the axle through the wheel, and that's really a 2-man job. or if you're a super skilled mechanic and a circus acrobat, you can do it yourself. I struggled a lot to fit the rear wheel, and I really wished someone was helping me. In the end, I got it in, and yeah, I was tired. Whew. Both wheels are now back on the bike. The front one was relatively okay. The trick there is to remove the butts, and then it's much easier. But the rear one was a real bitch. It is definitely a job for either a very experienced mechanic with proper lift and tools and experience, or for two men. The most important thing that everyone is concerned about are the clearances. So the front wheel, depending on how wide you go, is absolutely not a problem. My wheel is 110 and it's just a little bit wider than the stock, so that's absolutely not a problem. It's a smaller wheel, so as you can see, there's also a gap between the wheel and the fender. So front wheel is not a problem. You can feed a wider if you want, but I'll probably say 110, 120 is sweet spot, or even 100 is the same width as the stock. So the rear one has less clearance. 150 is as wide as you can go without having to modify the chain guard, and with 150 there's no problem as well. So it's tighter than the front, but there's no problem. The clearance is enough from the chain guard, and from the swing guard, and from the swing arm. There's absolutely not a single concern with the clearances. Talking about the looks, I don't want to convince anyone in anything, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I will just shut up and let you see the bike. To test the handling of a bike, I took it on motorway, A roads, B roads, and guys, it is phenomenal. I think it is a completely new bike. I need to get to know it from the beginning. Honestly, it handles so much better. It turns much quicker. It is more stable on the highways, and I immediately noticed, and that is probably mainly due to the tires, but now when I switch lanes and go over lane markers, I don't experience this wobbling, the wobbling of the bike. So it turns much better. It feels like it accelerates quicker. It feels like it's lighter. I'm so happy that I spent this amount of money, and honestly, this is a new bike. I have to learn and I have to get to know it from the beginning. I know this might be 50% placebo, but I don't care. Honestly, it gives me such a good emotion. It gives me a new thrill. So I don't regret. I know this is by far the most expensive mod you can do to your bike, and that's definitely the most expensive I did to mine, but I don't regret it. It's absolutely worth it. I love it. I absolutely love it. One thing to watch out is the speed reading. So when you change the wheel diameter, you affect the accuracy of the speed measurement. I'm lucky to have a custom speedo that has the calibration function. So for me, it's easy. But if you have stock speedometer, you might need to either remember that your speedometer is off, and you can check it by GPS, or for my other bikes, I used to solve the problem by having a speedo healer. It's a little device that you connect between the speedometer and the wheel speed sensor, and it can calibrate it. It can introduce slight correction to the speed measurements, and then your speed will be precise. So that's a little warning. Other than that, absolutely no issues. The bike rolls fine, amazing. It steers better, it is more stable, it looks better. I'm really happy I did it, and if you would like to do something similar and you still have questions, I'll be happy to help you as much as I can. And I have another video that talks about the choices I need to make to get to this point. It's about choosing wheels, sizes, rims and tires. If you haven't watched that, please consider. I will attach it to the end of this video. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.